I have beautiful, fresh, young potatoes here. And a very famous and very delicious way to prepare these is Hasselback style. So what it means is we're going to carve the potatoes in pretty much as many slices as we can, but not all the way through, just about until there. So it opens up, and when it goes in the oven, they fold open. Beautiful olive oil is going to go inside just before finishing. Few bits of garlic, few bits of rosemary, nice crunchy salt. These potatoes are going to be delicious. Take a sharp knife, nice slices. Let the knife do the work. Don't put force, don't put a lot of pressure, but make sure that that knife slides through. Just along your fingers, halfway. We just don't want them to cut completely loose. Turn around, that's easier. And there we go. Gonna need about 4 or 5 of them for each plate. You can really take your time with this. Cut 3/4, turn them around so it's easier. Little carves. If you do slice all the way through, don't worry, it really doesn't matter. It's about the potato being able to absorb the flavor. Otherwise, it's only the coating around. But because of this technique, flavors of the garlic, of the olive oil can really penetrate all the way into the middle of that potato. And that's what really makes them so delicious. The outsides are going to be crunchy, they're going to be full of flavor, full of nice olive oil, a little bit of garlic. Really, really yum. I have the oven heated up, 200 degrees. We really want to roast these guys. We want to make sure that they're crunchy on the outside, yet remain nice and soft on the inside. And by putting a little bit more temperature, around 200 degrees, we're going to achieve exactly that. It's a tedious job. If you're cooking for 25 people, good luck. If you're cooking just for the 2 of you or 4, I think it's really worth the effort of slicing them up nicely, making sure you don't carve too deep. I'm going to take a little tray, put our potatoes on. You can already squeeze them a little bit, open them up so that olive oil can drip in and go all the way to the inside. In the oven it will open up like a wafer and all these edges are going to crisp up because of the heat. It's going to be exactly the way we want it to. Bit of olive oil on top. Quite a bit. We're going to be using that olive oil afterwards with a little spoon. Put it back on top. Make sure that all the olive oil goes in between the slices. So they're going to need about 35 minutes, maybe 45, really depends on the size of your potatoes. Mine are really small, I'd say they need 25 to 35 minutes. If your potatoes are a little bit larger, no problem at all. Leave them in 45 minutes. Later on we're going to test with a little knife point, we're going to see if they're cooked. You can do that at home as well, just to make sure that they're completely cooked through. Because something that I really don't like is an undercooked potato. That is really not yummy. So once they're cooked, we're going to test them just before the end, making sure no matter what size potato you have, that you're always going to have it right. So we're going to have a little look at the Hasselbacks, and I think it is time to take them out. I'm going to spoon some of that olive oil back over the top so that it gets nice into the crevices. So as we see, the potatoes are starting to open up a little bit on the edges. Can I give them a little push down to make sure that I can get the olive oil in there. I really want to make sure that it opens up, because these layers are going to be crispy and that's exactly what we're after. I'm going to hold up the top and just spoon that olive oil back over the potatoes, basking in their own flavors, getting in there on all the sides. They're not yet done. We're going to give them a few more minutes in the oven, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then in the last minute we're going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of salt, and they're going to be absolutely stellar. So that's what I was talking about. You see all these little layers have crisped up, they have all absorbed all that beautiful, beautiful olive oil. I'm going to use a spoon once more, put that olive oil on top. Get it in everywhere. It's gonna give a creamy taste. It's gonna make them so delicious. every single potato. Here's where the love goes in. You either do it la la li la la la, or you take care. You make sure that you put a little bit of olive oil on every single potato, because we want to have them all nice. We want to have every single bite to be absolutely delicious. And you can only do that if you take care, if you make sure that you do them all precise. Every potato, a little bit oil, a little bit garlic, a little bit rosemary, tiny touch of salt, and then you'll have a perfect bite on every plate. You'll chop garlic right on top. It's only gonna need a minute or 2 or 3 in the oven until it becomes a tiny bit brown. I'm gonna cut a little bit of rosemary. Once again, on the cutting techniques, I pack them all together. What works the best for me, what makes it easy to cut really nice and very small, beautiful herbs. Using long strokes of the knife, letting the knife do the work. We don't need much, just want to add that tiny bit of aroma. Get them into the layers together with the garlic. Push down a little bit if you may. Just want to make sure that it sticks and that it's all there. Sprinkle of salt, really important. Do want to make sure that you have a bit of salt on these potatoes. It's gonna elevate all these flavors, the garlic, the rosemary, the potato, the olive oil. It all comes together with that sprinkle of salt. Every potato, just a tiny touch. Lamb and potatoes back in the oven. Final cook, just a couple of minutes, and we'll be preparing our plates. Now you're gonna have to have a look at these little beauties here. These are pieces of art. These tiny little potatoes that we have taken, so simple and nothing to it. We've sliced them a tiny bit. We've added that little bit of garlic in the end. They are crunchy on the outside. They're full of flavor. There's this yummy, delicious rosemary on that is not burnt because we only added it in the last few minutes. And these are the kind of tricks that are gonna make this tiny little potato be something that you will remember forever once you've done this. Normally you would never have a deliciousness like this. It's like a dish on its own. It's such a unique little being, and because they're small and petite and gorgeous and have all the right flavorings on them, people will remember this forever. It's wonderful. Gorgeous little things.